Hey monsters, here we go. It's Unit 6. The Fuse is back in town. The slides are available on Schoology or on the bit.ly that is on the screen and on the agenda board. 3 Kilo, Uniform Yankee Papa. Following along on the slides of daily activities, check your emails for Schoology. Support your team, sit with your team, work hard, be nice, flow your water. Respect our materials. If you run into a struggle, go ahead and flop like Rosie. We teach peace. We keep our phones away. Let's jump forward to what we're doing today. The midterm ends today and fall break begins, which means it's the Unit 6 final quiz. It says Unit 4. I don't know why. I can use feedback from classmates to make projects and programs better. I can manage my time wisely so I can get projects done, whether working alone or with partners. I'll consider what I did, how the project could be improved for the future, both my process and the overall directions. I can predict how what I worked on could be good or bad for the world overall as we continue into the future. I'm able to create my own work using the tools provided. How could I use feedback to make projects and programs better? How do I manage my time? What improvements could be made on my challenge? How is my challenge related to the outside world? What work could I create with the provided tools? And I can write or speak to what I've learned through this challenge. If you're doing a speaking option, let me know. I will help you get that figured out. Our bell ringer for today is final questions before the test. It's an open forum to answer one another. I'm going to do the test day PSA here in the vlog, and then we'll come back to the bell ringer since there's usually no questions. Then we'll review the depth of knowledge of questions, and the Unit 6 challenge summative report will come at you. Fuse challenge work time needs to be silent though until all quizzes are done. So let's go ahead and that PSA Unit 4, 10 people skipped the final quiz. That's across all 3 classes of 7th and 8th grade. Choosing not to take the quiz is a choice to fail. And as I said, today's the last day of the midterm. Save as turned in a blank paper. When the time comes, in about 5 or 7 minutes, stay focused and do your best. IDK, NA, similar responses do not count for points. If you need more time, you can let me know in your exit ticket. Any work from this unit is due no later than the Wednesday after break. However, it will not make the midterm if you don't get it in today. Not going to try to sugarcoat that. And then after that Wednesday, it's a 4 I did not try. There's 4 DOK levels. You're familiar with these. Level 1 is the easy one, 2 is the medium, 3 is the medium hard, and 4 is the actual difficult extended thinking. There are 5 learning standards. We already reviewed those. They are the standards, the objectives that we did for today, as well as the questions that we took a look at. So for part 1, honestly, for these DOK level 1 questions, I'm not giving points on that on the summative just because it's not practical. It's just a simple recall. Can you tell me what challenge you worked on, that sort of thing. So it's not worth any points, but it's important. It needs to be on the test. It's the reason that 0 points. It just doesn't help or hurt your grade. Then I can correctly identify 3 or more skills which I used or honed within my Fuse challenge. Go ahead and use the word wall for that. If it's hard to see the word wall from your seat, please note that it is also posted on Schoology. I use the Rocketbook beacons to go ahead and get that posted for you, make it easy to read. I can discuss the steps I took to hone or learn 3 or more skills within my challenge. And so for that part, you're actually looking at what steps you took to be working in those skills that you decided to describe. If you describe less than 3 skills, then, you have that opportunity. You can do that. It's just that you won't get as many points, obviously. Part 2, you can describe the project timeline from start to finish. If you didn't have one, go ahead and just, I winged it. Here's what I kind of hoped for. That's at least going to get you 1 point. If you can't describe your project timeline at all, no points. You can identify your ability to follow your timeline. That's just recall again. I can identify the ways my project timeline helped me to stay on task. I can discuss how I was ahead of or in line with my timeline, or I can discuss how I fell behind my timeline and why. And so that's kind of the big points there. 3 points for possible for that one. I'm only going for the 8 on the overall rubric slot, just to kind of make sure you guys know what I'm looking for the above and beyond to get your full credit. Part 3, this question has not changed. You can share details of positive and negative societal, cultural, and economic impacts of this challenge as it relates to the outside world. The struggle people have with this commonly is looking at the outside world. We're not looking at you. If you can say, oh, I think this challenge would help me do, that's not answering this question. It's not looking at the outside world. It's not looking at the positive and negative impacts on the outside world. It's not looking at the economics. It's looking at, I think I'm important. You are important. I love you all. I say it every day. Doesn't matter for question number 3. Part 4, I can identify 2 or more elements of the challenge design that should be changed. I can identify 2 or more elements that should not be changed for the first part. 4.2, ones that should be changed and how you would change them. So 4 possible points there. And then you can identify 2 or more ways that those changes you described would improve the challenge for students who do it in the future. So the section 4 is worth a lot of points, up to 8. because it's all actually looking at thoughts that you have. Part 5, I can describe the feedback I received from my teacher and or classmates. You get 1 point for that. You either can or you can't. I can identify 2 or more ways feedback improved my work on my challenge. 2 possible points there. I can select the challenge my peer completed. So recall. I can describe the feedback I did or would submit to a classmate. So if you gave feedback to someone, describe that. If you did not, but you have feedback you would give to someone, describe that. Again, that's a 1 point. You either can do it or you can't. And then I can describe how my feedback would help my classmate complete their challenge. How does it help them? If it's just, oh, it made it better, that's too vague. That's 0 points. You cannot describe how your feedback would help your classmate. How does it make it better? You have to give details on this. That is the rubric for this. You already saw the PSA, so we'll jump all the way back to the bell ringer. Final questions before the test. Yeah, it's about what I thought. In that case, too far. There's your challenge. There's your summative. It'll be coming up on the main screen as well. It won't just be here in the vlog. Unit 6 final quiz. It's on Schoology in the Unit 6 final quiz folder, or you can grab it on the bit.ly. 3, Quebec, uniform Delta India Sierra. Unit evaluations at the bottom of the page on Schoology. It's also linked right there. You can work on Fuse challenges when you're finished with things. Once all the other stuff is finished. If you're behind, you didn't do the weekly Fuse previews and weekly Fuse summaries, you could go ahead and work on the cheat day makeup assignment that was posted yesterday. That's what I've got for you today. Have a really great Friday. Have a wonderful break. Be safe. We hope to see you back on Monday. If you're not nervous about today, you don't care. Love you. Happy Friday.